We should proceed towards the exception handling. Yeah. So we human beings, when we write a code, then there is a tendency that we make a mistake. And mistake, whenever we make a mistake, syntactical mistake, then it will be caught during the compilation. So we have to compile before we have to go. Before we have to execute it. First, we have to compile it, right? So during the compilation, at the time, automatically we will come to know that it throw an error. In this particular line we have an error, but just a second. I'm sharing my screen with you guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Okay.
still it is loading. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so we know the syntax. For example, syntax is very simple here. Int a equal to 1. This is the syntax. But if you miss the semicolon over there, see it is showing an error. Can you see that error? Okay.
Yeah, correct.
But and even if you when you try to run that, then you get an error. Expected semicolon expected over there. So these are the errors, guys. But these are easily identifiable. We can identify these errors and we can fix them, but there are few errors which we can't identify while compiling. So this error will be discovered during the execution, during the runtime. So what happened at that time? So when we are running an application, if suddenly error occurred, then if system throw an error, then that cannot be handled. That is very tough. Now those are called as exceptions. Okay, so handle in the sense those exception will just completely stop the execution of the program. Then how to do that? Then we have to handle them. Okay, you know this is int a equal to 1 will not throw an error. Then int b equal to 0 will also not throw an error. But when you see int c equal to a not a divided by b, see there is no error. Technically there is no error, but internally when you divide 1 by 0, then it will there is a infinity that you can't find it out the answer. The system will go into the infinity loop, isn't it? So how to do that? How to handle them? So there is a concept called exception handling. By exception handling we can avoid these kind of errors, guys, when during the execution of the program. And how to do that? Then there is a block called try. There is another block called catch. By using a try and catch, we can handle this exception. So what is try and what is catch? So try block is something where you are expecting there might be an error. You are expecting, you feel that okay, there may be chance that error may occur here, so you put it there. Okay, so what do you do inside here? C equal to a divided by b. Okay, here you may find an error. Okay, then next you are going to catch that error in the catch block. So just you mention that what we can not divide any number by 0. Okay, when you write a simple program, then this will be handled. I mean, the error will be, or the exception will be handled here. Let's see. See, automatically the output is we cannot divide any number by 0. But if you don't write this, then they may be, then what will happen? Then the system will crash. The execution will be interrupted. We'll try to do here itself. See exception. Divide by 0. So this completely, so just think about it. Here we have a just a small program which interrupted by this exception, but just a second, interrupted by an exception. But if your application, which is a huge application, if it is interrupted by this kind of exception, then you just think about it. How will it be? So to avoid all this, this is again. Sorry guys. Yep. So if during an execution, if your application will stop, then how will it be? It's not be good, right? So in order to avoid that, we have this concept called try and catch. Is it clear?
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one question I have. So when we run, right, like say application, we get the application downtime while
Mhm.
running. So that time also these kind of exceptions, they will add it in the program that they will catch these kind of exceptions.
No, this runtime is not about the exceptions, right? Runtime is something about they are they are doing some kind of maintenance. They are uploading something into the server. So these are the what do we say, downtimes. So there is a update which they are fixing in the background. So that is the runtime. That is downtime, isn't it, Makan?
Yeah, coming to Parvati's question, so when you say exception, right? So there are more than 10 types of exceptions are there. So some exception you will get while runtime exception. Some exceptions are like arithmetic exception. So you will get when you get the exception message, it will be like it will be like exception in thread. Okay, there will be mention if it is a arithmetic exception or
No,
array
no, no.
index out of bound.
No, no,
So,
she means to say when we find this, when we're working at the time, sometimes we find the downtime, right? So she's asking what is that
okay.
downtime? Is that an
No,
exception
no,
or?
no, no, no. Downtime, this is a completely based on the application, right? So environment, if something is down, so you are getting some pop-up. That exception is not the runtime even exception because that is not related to the program. Okay, it is you are getting the exception some due to application. That's a different story. But when you are running the script and you are getting some Java dot lang, the exception will always come from main Java dot lang. Okay, always remember. I think here also you can see. Can you just go to the console, Ravi, from first? Yeah, so you can see, right, main that main java.lang. So exception, the exception what we are talking here, it will be always thrown from the java.lang. Are you getting this similar kind of exception, Parvati, while running the script?
Uh, what I see is like, say I'm running 100 test case. In that, around 20 it is failing, but it is throw. But otherwise, test cases are running. Only in particular test cases it shows like unable to locate an element, like technical exceptions appears in the screen. So those
Oh,
kind of thing is not handled. Is what
okay,
is my
okay.
question.
So that kind of when this is considered as a runtime exception. Sometime you do not find the no such element exception. method is also there. So okay, no such field exception is there. Even file not. So there are a different set of exceptions. So maybe sometime what happened when you run the script and your web element got changed. Okay. And you are running the script with the old XPath or whatever the web element is there, that time you will see the exception like, XPath or the file locator is unable to locate the this XPath or whatever. Because of that, also you will get an exception. So that you will see in Selenium session, if some locator is unable to locate the some XPath and all, that time you will get exception. So always remember that the exception will, whenever you see the just read all the exceptions, where exactly it came from. Is it came from the main java.lang or some other exception? Because in Selenium you may get a different set of exception also. Depends.
Okay,
Yeah, Ravi.
because I didn't know, because I'm just running. I don't know, like now only I'm learning the Java part and Selenium.
Correct,
So I
correct.
was thinking where that kind of exception is handled.
Yeah, yeah.
So by the time I think you guys are already understand that. So without learning Java and if you're going to Selenium, it will be hard. It will be really tough because you don't understand what
Correct.
is happening in the background. So it's better that we first learn Java. Specifically, there are few concepts. For example, this exception handling, file handling. These are the concepts which are very important. So after learning this, if you go to Selenium, then you understand that there is an exception which is occurring. I have to handle that.
See, the thing when you will be working on a framework, right? So you have to write a program like, I have three sets of browsers. If the Chrome browser is not working, I should able to switch to the different one like Firefox. If Firefox also is not working or down, I should directly switch to Internet Explorer. So you have to write a program. So for that, obviously you need a good amount of knowledge writing program in Java, right? Because every time you are not going to check manually whether Chrome is up, then you will go with Chrome, or Firefox is up, you will go with Firefox. This is not the case, right? You will write a program, if else kind of code you will be writing. If my Chrome is working, then launch. If not, then launch Firefox. So this kind of code you have to write. There is nothing like you will get in copy paste thing, right? These things you need to remember how to write the code. And the logic, it's all about the logic. First you have to think the logic, then you have to implement what I should write to get that such kind of output. So just learn. That's why I'm saying clear with the concept core Java or the OOPS, whatever, especially OOPS. If you don't know OOPS, so you can't work in automation. Seriously, you have to be good in the OOPS concept. You know how to like there would be a like framework, right? In framework, you may have more than 20 classes, 30 classes. Okay, you create. You need some method for helper class, lot of things. I will start for framework also later, how to build a framework. So in that case, if you have a 30 classes, how to interact with one to other, right? There the how to inherit it from this class to that class. These concepts should be very clear. Otherwise, you will get stuck.
Makan, what I'm
Or,
trying to say here,
hmm,
so instead of going Selenium now, so we
hmm.
can start creating framework in Java itself, right? So and we can practice there only. What I
See, uh, creating, see, Selenium, the framework and all, yeah, it's a link with Selenium, okay, not with Java.
no, we cannot
So,
create framework in Java.
no, no, you can create a framework, but
Hmm.
in Selenium, mostly what you do, you launch a browser, right?
No, no, I'm not
Just,
talking
but
about Selenium. I'm talking about Java.
Java, you
Frame.
can create a framework, yes, different packages, different classes,
Yeah, we
and
can do that one, right? Because For going Selenium, we can practice here, then we can go there.
Yes, even like from extend, which class I can extend, if it's an interface, should I be able to extend that class or interface? No, right? It should be always implement, right? Interface.
Correct.
So can I in one single class can I implement and extend two different classes? So we have to think like, can we do that? Suppose I'm saying here the program you can see public class main. For example, this is one program. In main, can I extend one class and can I extend or can I also implement one interface? So if you have not tried, please try and you will see whether you can or not. Yeah, Ravi, please go ahead. Sorry, I took your time.
No worries. So far is it clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you expect that there is a kind of exception may occur, then that kind of code you just put into the try block. Okay. Then later you whatever the exception going to occur, then you are going to you catch that exception in the catch block. So that is the concept all about. So do you have any doubts here or anything? Do you want me to show something else? I'll show you one more type of exception if you want. Okay. So we have created 3 elements in an array and we are trying to access fourth element over there. So index of fourth element. Let's see what will be the exception. Okay. Yeah, something went wrong. So if you don't,
Sorry, Fenrir. So Ravi, whenever you are covering the exception, okay, just ping that code to the group, na, so that they can try, right, with a different set of examples.
Sure.
Ravi,
Yeah,
just instead of 4, not just give 2. And
there will be no issue.
okay.
Okay. So which element has the second position? That is a 3. This is 0th position, first position, second position. So when you go accordingly, when you go right, then definitely it will print the right element. But when you try to access something outside of it, then it will throw an error. So isn't it? Do we have? You just tell me that. Do we have index number 6?
No.
No. So when you don't have index, I mean, there is no element. We have our length of the length of our array itself is three elements. Okay, there are only 3 elements and indexing start from the 0.
Correct.
But we are trying to access the element at the 6th index, whereas there is no index, no element. If you want to 6th index means there should be 7 elements at least.
Yeah.
And we have only 3 elements. So what is the error? Definitely. So when we try to access something which is not even there, then it will throw an error. But still we are handling that. How are we handling? We are just simply mentioning that, okay, there is an exception. We are telling that something went wrong. But if you want to know what is this, then we try to access here itself. Then see what is the error. E of 5.
It should be, I think, array out of index out of bound.
Let's array index out of bound exception, because index 5 out of bounds for the length 3. Okay, this is an exception. We have only 3 elements. Maximum the size of the array is 3, but we are trying to access the element at the 5th position. So definitely it doesn't even exist. So it is throwing an exception. So now you just tell me that this will not give you, there is a difference guys. Will this throw an error? Error means while compiling, okay. Can you see any kind of red mark here?
No.
No. So it is not an error. Yeah,
When
this
we are
is an
running, then
error.
only we come to know is there error or not.
Right, this is an error. So you miss a semicolon over there, okay, and you just try to compile it now. Yes, you are getting error now. You might have already seen this. There is a difference between the error and exception. So here we are getting that core Java 1 dot error, okay. But when I just complete the semicolon, we have just put it out, and when I try to access, this is saying exception, okay.
Okay.
But see, this is
Difference
something
between
that,
exception and error, right? You're talking.
right. So compile time and execution both are different guys. Compiling and error both are different. So I'll show you, if you I'll show you exactly. I think here compilation as well as the execution both are happening at the same time. So that's the reason we are not able to find it out. But I want to show you this. Okay. Mm. Oh, sorry, my mistake. What was the main class? Class name was main.java. Okay, so this is main.java. Let's see now. Java c dot main dot java. What happened it? Main dot java. Okay. Section 1. Okay. Okay. There is no error now. Okay. Now let's see. So this is here we can clearly identify that which is an which is a compilation and which is an execution. See. So the first one, wherever Java C exception.java is, we are compiling the file, and Java exception we are executing or running the file. So when we run the file, at the time we find an exception, but while just compiling, we did not get any kind of error. But if I remove this, so here what is happening in here in the IDE, in the okay, yeah, when we click on this particular button, it is doing both. It is compiling as well as it is running. It is execution. So that's the reason there may be a chance that you guys are not getting that what is a runner, what is an exception. But if I make some changes here, if I remove this semicolon, then if I click on save and try to execute this, try to compile it, then we find an error here itself. Okay, so this compile time errors are called errors, whereas the runtime errors are called as exceptions. Okay, so here once you get the compile time error, you can't even proceed towards the execution of the program, running of the program. So now you remove this one, you again just re-add this semicolon over there, everything is fine. Just go to try to compile the program. Yes, it's successful. Now try to run the program. Now here you may find an error, you may find an exception, and here also we can make it out, guys. This is an error and this is an exception. Is it clear?
Yeah, Ravi.
Okay. The next thing, so there is something called finally. Okay, there's a block called finally. So what is the meaning of finally? First we'll see, then I'll talk about it. Okay, this is a finally, and first time we'll go with everything fine. We don't make a mistake, then we'll go with fine, everything in a good situation. So here we are trying to access something outside of it. Now we'll try to access the second element. See this, guys. See, so we are accessing this element at the second position, that is 3, and finally both are, so finally block is getting executed. So this time what happened? Try block got executed, there is no error, try block got executed, catch block didn't, then the finally block got executed. Now we'll try to make some changes to it. We'll try to access the element in the 5th position again. Okay, now let's see. Something went wrong. So there is an error in the try block. So try block just execution stopped at the try block, then it went to the catch block, and catch block got executed, then finally block. So now, guys, do you have any kind of opinion, or do you have any understanding that what is happening here? Anybody try?
Okay, I didn't understand. In catch itself, we find, right? Again, why you are adding finally?
I'm saying the same thing. So here, what did you understand from the last two execution? We try to, without error, without exception we proceed, and with exception we proceed.
Correct.
In both the time, then in both the time we have seen this finally. So what did you understand from there? Do you have anything to say over there?
So Ravi, I think the block, whatever the finding, this block of code will be executed after try block ends always.
Anything else? Parvati, anything from your side?
Not getting.
Okay, I'll tell you. So first time there was no error, try got executed, catch didn't, finally got executed. Second time there was an error, try did not get executed, catch got executed, finally got executed. So it means that regardless of try and catch, finally will definitely get executed. So what is the meaning of exception? Exception means okay, the program execution is going to stop there, right? That is the meaning of execution. Sorry, exception. Exception means exception will completely stop the execution of the program. But even though the execution of the program, or the what do you say, that execution point is getting completely interrupted, even though finally is getting executed, guys. So that is the difference. I'll show you one more time. So this time we are trying to access the second element. There was no exception, everything is fine. Then try block executed, then finally blocks executed. And this time we are making a mistake. We are trying to access the value at the 7th position, and which definitely throw an exception, and try block is not going to get executed. Catch block got executed. Catch block execution means what? There is an exception. So exception occur. When exception occur, then it will stop the execution of the program. But even though the finally block is getting executed, the meaning of it is regardless of the try or catch, whether which is getting executed, but finally will definitely execute it at the last. Now, in this case, what kind of code we should put it in here? So whatever the code you want to execute, regardless of the try or catch block, that code you should put into the finally block. There are some kind of codes which you want to execute, whether it will be the try will get executed or catch will get executed, or try will executed or exception hawker. You don't want to interrupt, or you don't want to hinder that execution of that particular block of code, then you put it into the finally block. I'll tell you the example. When you are trying to access the database, so whenever you create the connection, then you should close that connection before you stop the execution of the program. Then how to do that? But whenever, yeah, so we'll try to show this one. So for just think about it. Here we have okay, let's say this. Can you see this? The exception occur here. It didn't even execute the system.out.println. It's completely, no, it didn't print the Ravi. It directly stopped here. We try to print that here on the first line. Let's see what will happen.
It will print.
Yes. See, now it is printing first Raghu, then exception occur, then error occur, then what happened? It is completely stopped the execution of the next what is happening. So Ravi didn't even execute it. But if you put your closing comments, or if you put your closing code, which is a database closing code here in the try itself, that's what will happen. Then it will not get closed. Connection will be lost. Next time when you try to make the connection, there may be a chance that you might find an error. So how to stop that? How to avoid that? So in order to avoid that, you have to put that closing connection code into the finally block. So here, so it doesn't even matter that what is in the next line, wherever the exception occur, then the execution stop there and then itself. It will not move further. So the error occurred here and it didn't even execute the Ravi. Okay, then how to execute that Ravi? If you want to, if you feel that Ravi, that particular block, Ravi block is, or block of statement is very important, then you put it into finally block. Now see, I'll try to comment it. See, now Ravi is getting executed. Is it clear now?
Yeah, now got it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is called as, guys, what is this? Exception handling. So how do we handle the exception? We put whatever the code where you feel that there exception may occur, that code you put into the try block, or whatever your code which throw an error, that code will go into the try block. Then what will go to the catch block? What kind of thing? How are you going to handle that exception? You are just printing a message, you are just stopping, you are just letting the user know that something is going to occur. For example, you are trying to access the element which is not over there, you in such a way that you just handle the exception. And what is a finally block? Finally block talks about the whether, regardless of the try and catch, the block of code is going to executed, and which is specifically useful during the database connection or any kind of connection you made, and you want to close it before you stop the execution of the program, then that kind of code will go into the finally block. Got it, guys?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Makan, anything do you want to add?
No, Ravi, I think this is enough.
This is enough, right? Okay. So what's next? So next is file handling. Okay. Now we'll see the file handling. So file handling again plays a vital role because there is a lot of time that we have to read the file, we have to write the file. There's a lot of huge amount of, now we can see this, the data is a new fuel. Okay, in this age there was, in the last age, the software engineering was the boom, now the data is the boom. Okay, so we have to read the data from the different files. That file handling is all about this. I would just, okay, whenever you want to read a file, whenever you want to write a file, then that can be used by using the file handling, guys. So meanwhile, before that, do you have any doubt? Because any doubt, anything do you want to know, or any previous concepts you want to clear? Raghu, Parvati?
No, I'm good for now.
So shall we proceed with the file writer or file reader, or
Yeah,
simply
Ravi.
say file handling?
Yeah, file handling.
Okay, guys. So file handling. So generally we'll first we'll go with the text file, guys. So this file handling is all about this present in the input output file, input output say interface. So before you want to write anything, or before you want to work on file handling, you have to import the java.io package, input output package. Okay, this is the package where you will get the file handling, all the classes belongs to the file handling. Okay, then next, then how to create a file, how to access a file, how to create a new file. So there is a class called file. Okay, there is a class called file. So whenever you write, I'll just remove this code first, or just a second. Done. Okay, then there is a class called file dot f1 equal to new file. Then here you have to give the name of that file. So we are going to create the file name called what file? So this is the file name that we are going to create. Okay, then this file, when we create the object of this file, then it will create the file. Okay, but why is this a yes? And if you want to check that whether the
Create in
file,
text format, Ravi. Sorry to
what?
interrupt. When you are creating file now, so it would be in a text format. You give .txt, right?
Yeah, we are creating a text
Or
format.
name, okay, okay. No, I'm asking text file or Excel file, how?
Yeah, so it depends upon, see what kind of extension you have given. Okay, so initially we'll not make it complex, we'll go with the text file which are very simple to read, easy to read. Then later we'll go and we'll create the tough one, right?
Okay.
Okay, fine. So we are going to see this, we have created this, and we are just trying to check that whether that file get created or not. Okay, if f1 dot create new file, if file got created, then we are going to mention that file is created, else file already exists. Okay, then that's it. Now let's see. Yes, file is created. So we'll try to execute it one more time. See this, the first time it was file created, this time file already exists. So with this particular file name, and you may already seen this, the text file is created here. Can you see this?
Okay. At the same time, we can give path also where we need to save.
Exactly. So you can give the path also wherever you want to save. So you have to use the path by exactly giving the right path over there. You can use it.
Okay, it's showing right. Okay, path name. What about
Okay.
that, Ravi? Show asking path name right before that.
Which one?
Yeah, same in
No,
row.
no, path name. See, this is a this is what we say the advancement of Java,
Hmm.
that it is showing that what will come here, what the thing come here. So path name, the complete path and the file name will come here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will come here. Okay, the complete. So this path name is like, see, you can't even do anything to it. It is giving kind of helping. It is helping us that what do we have to write here.
Okay.
So path name also include the file or path file name. Got it?
Got it. Got it. So you can mention here right path name. So it will
Yes,
save in that path where I need to save.
absolutely right. Okay. Now we have created the file now. Then we want to write. We want to write something into that file. Then how to do that? We already create the file. So when we create the file, then this does not require. Now next what we have to write the
One second,
code.
one question. Okay, whenever we are creating file now, so this is the formula saying file means new file. The objective what you mentioned.
Yeah, we have to create the object, right? With
Yeah,
the file
okay,
name.
but the name would be file or
Yeah, this is the syntax,
it's
Raghu.
taking from Java, right? So it would be file only. I can give any name. It won't take, I think.
No, no, Ravi, let me tell you. So, Raghu, this is the syntax, okay, regarding the file, any file handling.
Hmm.
Am I audible? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the first file, this is required. Okay, this file means uh, to read or write or do any kind of things on the file handling, you need this file, and this is the it will import from
Java. Yeah, that is
java.io.file.
what I'm
Okay.
asking. So it's
Yeah,
import from the Java. So that is I'm asking. So I need to give file only, right? If you give
file.
other, it
Correct,
won't
correct.
take.
No, no, it will not work
Yeah,
because
correct.
when you first time type file, it
Hmm.
will ask you to import, right? It would be underlined.
Correct.
So, and whenever you do the mouse over, you can able to import it. So when you click on the import, it
Hmm.
will come from java.io.file.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so that's how and the so this is the syntax. So file, whatever object you are giving equal to new file. To create a any file, you need to create an object, right? So like
Yeah, object
new, yeah.
identified.
So
Yeah.
this is the syntax.
Okay.
Yeah, Ravi, please. Sorry.
Thank you, Mahan. Thank you. Yeah. So Raghu, do you remember one thing? You tell me, what is this? You have seen this.
Sorry,
What is that? Whatever I highlighted.
this object, right?
Yes, the F1 is object.
That one is a, I think, variable. F1 we're creating name,
Yeah,
right?
F1 is an instance variable. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are creating an object. We
Yes.
are assigning that object to F1.
Correct.
And what about this one? What is this?
This is a Java operator.
Constructor.
So not
Java constructor, do you remember?
yeah, Java constructor. Correct.
So Java constructor, we are passing a value, we are passing a path name to that Java constructor, what is file constructor. We are passing the file name to the file constructor, where it is creating a file inside. I mean, there is a code written into this file class. So it is taking the path name and it is creating a file at this particular path name.
Okay.
Okay. So that is happening here. Got it?
Okay.
And whatever the file will be created, that object will be, the F1 object will be created and it will assign to it. Got it?
So yeah. So why I'm asking, Ravi, means usually we are taking class name, right? So
Yeah.
you know, right? When you're creating class first name, the instead of file, we'll take class name there.
Right,
But
absolutely
we taken
right.
file because we are importing from Java, so the name would be same file, right?
No, one more thing. File itself is a class.
Class, yes.
File is a class. Now, file is as same as main now. This file and this main
Any
both are
class,
same.
any
Both are,
file for this particular.
so both are same. Main is also class, file is also class. You are creating object of this file class which is available into java.io package.
Okay.
No, not okay. You tell me.
This
Don't
is
be
like how scanner is available in the util.
right, absolutely right. So like we have a scanner class, right? Scanner sc equal to new scanner system.in. System.in. In the same manner, this scanner class, this scanner, this file, main, everything is same. Everything is class. Okay. So now what is happening? You are creating. So this is a okay, Raghu. So this is a predefined class, Raghu, which is generally inside of this class. Whenever you create an object of it, it will create a file. That is a functionality of it. So whenever you create an object of this file class, file means this is not a file, this is a class. So file is a class. Whenever you're creating object of this class, inside automatically it will create one file. That is all about it is talking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So when you create this, when you create object of this file, internally it will create a, okay, it will create a file. It will create one file which is a text. Whatever kind of file you given here, that will get created.
So the file is class only, right? So okay.
Okay.
File is a class,
Yeah.
Raghu, and create a new file. It's a method. Okay, whenever you say create a new file, yeah, this is a method. So there are a lot of methods here. Yeah, create a file. Okay, delete, create like deletion. For delete, you have to say you will cover later. There are few things, you can delete that particular file. Okay, or you can read that file. You can write anything on that file, change file permission to someone else. Like there are a lot of things. These are the methods. When Ravi is enter f1 dot create create a new file, means it's a method. He's just calling to create that particular file. txt file, XLS or whatever. Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'll
and sorry. So when you do the program, with the same these scenarios, you will get clarity. Just try in your your area and just you will get all this. Try to change all the extension now. TXT or XLS, PDF. Try with the PDF dot PDF. Okay, all kind of or doc Word tab.
CSV.
Yeah, uh, there are a lot of extensions are there to create a file. You can try for all, and you will
Raghu,
get this.
All right.
just observe one thing here. See, we have only one text file. Okay. First file one.csv. I'm going to create a new one. Okay.
Okay.
As soon as I hit this button and observe here. Okay. Observe this area. Can you see this?
Yeah, it's created a CSV format.
Yeah, it is
Text
created
is
on
there, right?
CSV.
Text also is there and CSV is created.
Right. So whenever you call this method, whenever you create object of this particular class called file, and when you pass the parameter, that first file, whatever the parameter you're going to pass, what is the parameter? The path name. Path name include the path as well as the file name. Okay. When you pass that, it create file in that particular path.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is what. Now you want to write something into that file. Okay, you already created one file. Now you want to write something into that. Then how to do that? So first I'll copy and paste it here in the group. Then I'll proceed.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll proceed with the next one. We already created. We have all okay. In that, guys, there is a scanner class. Kindly just ignore that. Okay, so we have already created the file called first file.txt. Now we are going to write that. Okay, so we don't require all these things. So I'm going to remove. Now how to write that? To write, we have one more class called file writer. File writer, okay, fw equal to new file writer. So in this file writer, you have to give the file name. So what is our file name? Our file name is the first file dot txt. So you are going to write something into this file now. Okay, then after that you write fw equal to write. There's a method called write method. In that, write anything, a string, write anything you wanna write. So this is a Java session. Okay, this is a Java session. You have written this. So after writing this, remember one thing, guys. Whenever we create any object, then it is important to close that object, because it is going to create. So this file writer, what is happening? It is going to create a connection between this file and our Java class. So that's the reason that it's always better to close that. Whenever you create something, it's better that you close it. Okay, it's better that you close it. Now just write that you print something. What did you print? Yes, you have written the file. Successful. Okay. Now let's see what will happen. Yeah, successful. We are able to write something into it. But how do we come to know whether whatever we did, that's absolutely right, we able to write into it? Then how do we come to know when we read that particular file? Okay, so let's try to open this. See, this is a Java session. If you want to write something else, do you want to write something else? This is last Java session. So here what do we have? We have this is a Java session. Now we are going to write it as this is last Java session. Okay, one more time successful. Let's see this. Now we have to close it first. No need to. See, it is dynamic now.
Oh, it will overwrite, right? Okay.
Yeah, it is getting overridden.
Okay.
Okay, it is getting overridden. Any doubts here?
Yeah, I'm good.
No, but we are writing all these in try only, right?
Yes.
So we have to write all these in try, or it's like we can write.
Raghu, she is asking something. Can you answer?
Yeah. So without try also we can write. So why you're means I am expecting. So I'm thinking without try also we can write. So you added try because we can find the errors, right? If anything went wrong. Hello.
So Raghu, this
Yeah.
okay.
Makan, proceed.
No, the question which Parvati asked,
So
yes, you can.
yeah, Ravi all written inside the try, right? So what I'm saying, without if you remove try also we can write. I'm saying.
So is it because
No,
it is coming under like handling, exception handling, we have to write it in try,
so
catch?
Parvati, is your question like without try, catch, or finally, can we write the same program? Is it your question?
Right, like why if we have to write any file.
Yeah, that's correct. You can write. It's not required, like it's not mandatory. Only you can write with the
Under the
exception, under the exception, try and catch whatever the block. You can just under the main method also you can write it. Okay. You are just creating or operating that particular data. That's it. It's not mandatory that you have to always, you can only write with the try catch block. And just for your practice, you can write under the main method. Same thing. And also, just I want to cover to write this. These are the class, right? The file writer, which Ravi already shown. So there are 4 ways you can do the same activity. There are 4 classes are available in Java. So one Ravi showed file writer. One is buffer writer. Okay. One is file output stream, and one is files. So these are the 4 way, like you can do the same action. You can try it. I will just ping you. Just change the name, okay, from file writer to buffered writer or file output stream. You can just try it. Yeah.
how about Excel and all, Makan? If you go column A, column B like that in Excel, if you're creating.
Yeah, so you have to use the this list and this one, right? We covered, na?
Array you're talking.
Yeah. So
Do
you have to, yeah, you have to do with that. So everything is, like the Excel also key and value. No, we in collection we saw key and value, right?
Hash map.
Hash map. Remember where you have some component and the value like name, your like or mobile number. We covered, right?
Yeah.
So that way we, especially that class is designed to handle Excel kind of data or whatever row and column, key and value. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
to try with Excel and text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Raghu, don't try with the Excel. Excel is very tough initially. You will lost,
Uh,
okay?
Yeah,
So now
I
you
would
initially.
also suggest, yeah, that this is we Excel kind of things we use in framework data driven kind of things. So
Mhm.
don't go Raghu. It's little bit you need lot of dependencies to handle that kind of Excel sheets. Okay, so you will get confused right now.
Okay, you said right now in text writing we have 4 stage.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll try that one.
yeah.
Text or Word file.
Yeah. So yeah, the same thing you can perform the like delete. Okay, where
Mm.
Ravi mentioned like create. Yeah, where
Close, right? Dot close.
dot close. No, no, that's a different. I
Delete,
think
right?
in last program he mentioned where it's mentioned that create a class, right?
Mhm.
He mentioned so in that case, the method you just change it from create you just change dot delete, okay, and see whether the delete is coming. If you are saying delete, that file will get deleted, okay, the same
Okay.
file. These are the actions like methods. Okay, read file, write and read he will cover, Ravi will cover. Just yeah, sorry Ravi.
No, no
Go ahead.
issues, no issues, okay? And one thing I want to tell you, a small story of mine. So I was also learning Java. When I was learning Java, so
Mhm.
till try and catch concepts are covered. So till that time, I used to write every program without using try and catch. Okay, but when I have attended the class of try and catch, then I come to know that yes, because when I was without using try and catch, if there was an error, then I was not getting that okay, this is going to be an error and this is not going to be get handled. So I was going to get the not only error but the exceptions also. So what did I do then after completion of this class? And I come to know that yes, so try and catch is not mandatory. Without that also we can write the programs. But when you write the try and catch, it means that you are handling any kind of exception which is going to occur. Hope you understand now. Okay. So try. Why do we use this try and catch? We use this try and catch after learning try and catch. We use this because in order to avoid all kind of exception that occur during the runtime. So I don't want to. And when I was working on my project, when I learned Java, I was working on human resource management system. So which is if during execution if something goes wrong, then it will stop the execution of my program, and whatever I work, my complete work will be going to the garbage. So nothing, there will be no use of it, right? So that's the reason I use this exception handling. So when I use this exception handling, whenever there was an exception occurring, then it was getting handled, it was throwing me my message, okay, this is an exception, but it was not letting the program to get out of it, get out of the execution. It was not making the program to get out of the execution, but it was handling that exception. When yes, then I used to get the yes, this is an error. Then what do I have to do? I have to I was still in the execution of the program. Okay, I was still in the execution of the program, but I come to know how this was something went wrong. Then I need to fix it. Then I used to change my code accordingly. So this try and catch blocks plays a very crucial role when it comes to handling the exceptions. So without which also you can write the program, but if you use a try and catch, then this we in a risk we have one uncertainties. Okay, we have a certainty, we have a risk. So this is also a kind of exception is nothing but a risk. So you can handle that risk. And we work for a bank, then we know that what is the value of a risk, what is the impact of it.